Hello, friends. Welcome back to Everything is Traumatic. This week's episode, we're going to be talking about being alive. Well, I just think it's kind of a hard time out there for everyone, myself included. I can really only speak for me. Feels like it's pretty hard to feel alive and be alive. So that's what we're going to talk about, and we're going to kind of explore those reasons. And you guessed it, it's that pesky culprit known as the cost of living in this whole system. So strap yourself in, get into your safe spaces for episode number 54 of Everything is Traumatic.
Hi, I'm Jeff, and I'm a therapist.
And I'm Tyler, and I'm a patient.
We're going to talk about trauma, healing, and everything. Everything is traumatic.
Right. I mean, and that's all anyone's really asking you to do, Jeff. And just asking you to speak your truth. We don't want to. We don't want to ruin.
There may be some things I can't say.
Right. Right.
And I'll just say I can't say it.
So, yeah, shit. Being alive, huh?
You know,
being alive.
It's sort of a mix for me. So like when I look at the shit that we have that we and I mean there's just a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of anxiety. There's so much to be anxious about.
Mm-hmm.
So some of it is like it really feels horribly anxiety provoking to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are moments where I'm just very, very pleased to be alive. Very like, oh, this is nice. Like I went and saw Twister last weekend, even though I broke my toe. And that was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to sit there and watch a movie and feel like this is what old, like, summer blockbusters felt like, just a stupid, fun movie.
Yeah.
And then like Deadpool versus Wolverine's out, and I want to see that. And like I've got good friends like you, and it's like, oh yeah. So it's like that mix of moments of really like, okay, contentment or excitement, and then just moments of like blah shit. I don't want to live 20 more years of this. Turning on the news every day and horrible shit happening.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with all the ignorance of like, oh, they had a Dionysian kind of Greek thing that everybody is saying is anti-Christian. It has nothing to do with Christianity. It's like Greek.
Yeah. I mean, at the Olympics, yeah, everyone's making a big hullabaloo about it. I find myself.
It started in Greece. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah. Didn't know if you guys knew. But yeah, it definitely feels like there are more reasons to not be alive than actually be alive. Like, I don't know, like maybe I'm reassessing that or I'm weighing out my options here, but it's just getting harder to feel like I want to keep on chugging along. So that's what
and I want to, we're not saying that we are going to do something so that we're not alive. I think what we're trying to talk about is that sometimes being alive is very stressful.
Yeah.
I read a post tonight talking about Knoxville and what people liked about Knoxville and what people didn't like about Knoxville. And some of the, there's a lot of, I think Knoxville has some very positive things. There are some really nice things for the arts. There's some very beautiful things. The Tennessee Theater is one of the most striking theaters probably in the country. It's beautiful. It's been refurbished. I love that they put that to the arts. Traffic is shit. And housing costs are crazy. And it's like we're trying to shove all these people here. So it's sort of like living in Knoxville, what life is like. There's wonderful things, and then there's just shit.
Yeah. There's just yeah. I think I read that same post today, Jeff, because I was scrolling through that, and yeah, there's a lot of people bitching about traffic and the transplants and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
housing, and it's
You know
yeah.
what? I'm not anti-transplant though. I think that's sort of cool. People from different cultures coming, and um, but I mean, it's just a lot of people, and I don't understand what they do, and so
Mm,
where are they working?
mm,
Because so much of the new housing that they're building is like really luxury apartments or 500, 600, $700,000 apartments.
yeah.
So I mean, obviously these people have good jobs, and I say welcome them. It's just that Knoxville is not prepared for. I don't know. I think we got like 700,000 people in the greater Knoxville. I think we were made for about 300,000 at the most.
Mm. Yeah, we're
So
we're meant to hold everyone, but like I don't think the transplants are necessarily the problem. I think it's the mentality of richer people from other states coming to move here or businesses moving their operations
gotcha,
to
gotcha.
here because that's when they start raising up the prices for the people who have lived here like all their life, and then now they can't even live in their own
Right,
city.
right. That I got you. People coming in and buying an expensive house, and then nobody else can buy a house because
Mm.
of the crazy, you know,
Yeah, and I mean,
stuff going.
and it all just kind of plays in with like, just like everyone, at least for me, like, and hopefully people can relate, but like, just feel like being in a constant survival mode of you have enough, like, it really is just a few bad things happening that could put you like on your ass in the street. Like, all it takes is a few bad things going wrong. Because I mean, I don't have a savings. I have a
Yeah,
negative.
yeah.
I have a negative $1.85 in my savings, and I need to fix that. But like, I can't.
Well, that's I think like the thing that people are like, you should be having a savings. You need to have 3 months emergency savings. It's like
Hmm.
some people can do that,
Yeah.
but most people can't do that because the cost of everything is so expensive. So they pay their bills and then they're fine or maybe not fine, but they can survive
Mm.
unless something happens, like an
Hmm.
emergency, which is
Yep.
always going to happen. And then it's like, okay, so there goes any savings I had. There goes I have to change something. Now I'm in the red,
Hmm.
and it's like then you get in that where you have to pull from next month to it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like very very privileged to say you should need to have 3 months of your salary. It's like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'll just do that.
Right.
I'll take my $0 and put it into my savings account.
Like, there just needs like, I don't know why bigger businesses and corporations like just want to keep. I can't even get the thought out. They just really just keep gouging and taking from the lower class. And
Right.
what are you gonna do when they have nothing? They have nothing. They can't even work if they don't have a place to fucking live. They have nowhere to fucking work. They have nothing to do.
Right.
The only option is to die. And it's like,
I think the one of the things is that there are industries that are set up to take advantage of those people,
mm,
like the money laund or whatever money lending places, or the check into cash, or the um, car title thing. It's like so those instead of having a safety net, people come up and find out ways to exploit people.
yes, that's what
But you know
it's.
what? I read a thing. um, that said that many times people trusted the like check into cash places more than banks because in the check into cash places all the fees were like clearly stated like
Mm.
on a board, and in a bank it's very confusing. Like, what does it cost to do this? It's like in a check into cash place, a money order costs $1.49, and it's
Mm.
listed right there. And so it's like people were almost using those for their banks because it was clear, and they didn't feel like, I mean, they felt like they knew what they were getting into. And a bank is much more confusing.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when we're trusting these cash or check places, yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
trusting
because
those more
banks,
than a bank.
obviously, those places are there to manipulate and make money.
Hmm.
But aren't banks doing some of the same thing? I mean,
Yes.
did you get charged an overdraft fee?
I did in my savings account. That's why it's at negative $1.85. Like,
Yeah.
what kind
So,
of shit
so
is
what's
that?
what's the thinking of, okay, so you don't have enough money, so we're going to charge you more money?
Yes.
It's just like, so I don't think it costs them anything. It certainly didn't cost them, like mine is $32.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have enough money to pay that bill to go into overdraft, I certainly did not have that extra $32, which is just, and it'll keep adding up
Yeah.
so that you
Yeah.
can do hundreds of dollars every
Yeah.
time one goes in. It should be like $5,
Hmm.
and then that should be it.
I mean, but that's the thing, Jeff, is like, that's how you keep someone constantly in debt. Because that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
goal. Because that's how you make
yeah,
someone dependent. Because it's
right.
actually pretty expensive to be poor.
You
Like,
know, as you age, sometimes some of these things get a little bit more simple,
hmm.
but not necessarily.
Okay,
Some,
interesting. Yeah, because maybe I'm just in like a growth in between. I don't know. I mean, I've been fortunate to have a great support system, and that's something I do want to acknowledge and like express gratitude for. And I'm very lucky to have that, but it also in the same time has felt like I don't know. Life's been a constant fucking struggle, and I mean, maybe that's just it. Maybe that is just life. Sure, I don't know.
right.
Excuse
I
me.
mean, I think that the idea, this is the idea on maybe how America should work, is that everybody sort of struggles as they're getting their feet under them. You are going out away from whatever support system you had or a lack of support system. You're going on your own. You start getting jobs. Slowly, those jobs will increase in salary. Slowly, you'll be able to sort of get a good apartment or a good house or a good car or whatever. And so you may struggle less. That would be the idea, that as you age, you would be able to sort of take advantage of that momentum. I think that might have been a thing in the past, because like you could actually purchase a house, a small house, on a meager, not a meager, but a modest income, because houses were 150,000 and interest rates were 2%. Well, now houses are 500,000 with 8%. And so that makes the whole idea of buying a house right now very difficult. And so you're
Hmm.
stuck renting, which would be
Yep.
great if renting was affordable. But now renting is not affordable. And so it's
Right.
like, what am I supposed to
What
do?
am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to live?
Yeah, I'm
And
doing it right. I've got a job. I'm renting. I've got a roommate. I'm renting, or I'm married, or I have a partner, whatever. But
mm,
then I still can't get ahead.
still
And I think
can't.
that's
Yeah,
what's going on right now. And it has to stop at some point.
it really does. Well, like Fucking bail us out. Fuck the
Yeah,
bank and auto
right.
corporations and everything. Bail out the fucking people. God damn.
One of the things I like that's a very progressive idea. We talked a little bit about this is universal minimum income or universal income, which some cities and states have tried, and it seems to really help. Where like everybody gets $1,000 a month. You know, $1,000 a month would really help a lot of people to pay their bills and
Mm-hmm.
to not have to go into debt and not, it's not the end all be all, but it's basically like just saying, okay, so we realize things are crazy, so we're going to give everybody a little boost.
Yeah.
Of
Well, because
course,
these things that people need, like, it's not, it's a right. Like, it really is a right. Like, we deserve to have food. We deserve to have shelter. We deserve to at least have the basic needs met.
yeah.
We
And
makes the entire country whatever makes so much fucking money. We shouldn't be. We should have the basic needs met. Like, what is so wrong with that? Why do we need to justify? Well, they just need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and fucking durka durka
right.
dur.
Well, if they were just making good choices here,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeb. You made the best choices, didn't you?
why do they have a cell phone if they don't have any money? It's like because you have to have a cell
Because you
phone.
have to. Every corporate, everything has a fucking app now.
Why don't they just go get a job and McDonald's is hiring? Well, because McDonald's pays $12 an hour, which even if you worked 40 hours a week, you couldn't afford an apartment. It's
I
just
mean,
it's
20.
always blaming the person instead of the system.
Yes. Because it's more. Because we. It's easier to see someone who appears to not be doing anything for themselves and automatically assume that they're being lazy when we don't see this system that's created by people. We don't see this system of people now meant that's just exploiting everyone around you. It seems
I,
like.
I, I see where I understand how you can get people that are middle to upper class to rich to buy that, but
Mm-hmm.
how do you get the poor to buy that? Because
Yes.
I think that's what's happened now is that poor folks or lower income folks are now blaming,
The
you know,
system.
the system or saying that somebody like Trump is going to come and save them when he he could care less about them. I mean, I was going to post this on Facebook. You can't post anything on Facebook. The politicians are not your friend, right? They're
Right.
not. I mean, whoever you love as your person, they don't care about you. I mean, that's a little harsh in the sense that I'm sure that they have feelings. Politicians have feelings. They have families and they have friends, but they're not they have agendas too. And so there can be good agendas and bad agendas, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. But they don't care about you. And I think that one of the things that Trump has been able to do, and I don't understand it, is how he has convinced people that he hurts and he would you know, kick in the head if he had the chance, that he cares about them and that he's going to fix things for them. And I think that's the same. It does it the same way that religion does things. It's about fear. So it's
Mm-hmm.
all about, oh, the immigrants are coming. They're
Yep.
going to take away your guns. They're going to take away your Jesus. And so people get freaked out. But people are so scared of losing their guns. I
Mm-hmm.
don't understand it. We have so many fucking guns.
Yeah, they're very convinced that they're going to go door to door and take all the guns. And
Yeah,
it is a fear of the unknown, of something different, something new, something that doesn't fit into the quote unquote normal sensibilities of what
yes.
we think is quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
Normal is subjective. There's no set standard for normal. Me and you have two very different definitions of normal, Jeff, so
Yes.
fuck, I lost my train of thought. God damn it, Tyler.
No, I think that this one of the solutions is something we've talked about, and we talked about therapy a lot and that kind of need and how important that is. Um, One of the things I think is community and the idea that I think the government can do many things. I think that it would be wonderful to have universal health care and universal basic income. I think the government could help with those things. That could help, and housing and controlling housing costs. But I also think the government is not good at everything. And so it's like some of it is we need to also take care of each other. So the people that have lots of money should be helping to take care of people that don't have money. The
Mm-hmm.
people that have a decent amount of money should help other people. And so I think it's very important that people also support each other and help each other. And we've gotten to this point where the world wants us not to trust each other. The world wants us not to talk to each other. The world says if you're different, then you're scary.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that's a problem. And that's where we are sort of right now. 50% of the country hates the other half of the country.
Yeah, yeah, well, it's easy. It's kind of hard not to.
Yeah,
Like, we have one half of the country that's kind of okay with being bigots. And, well, I think, I don't know, like, maybe both sides could maybe be accused of bigotry in a way. Um, I don't, and that's another thing. Like, it shouldn't be just a left and right thing. There needs to
right.
be some actual third party candidates that aren't fucking brainworm McGee. We need someone a little bit better than that. Fucking A. I mean, he's a goddamn Kennedy. Nothing good ever happens to Kennedys.
We hit on this last week when we talked about group therapy a little bit. It's sort of the universality of life.
Mm,
When when we are screaming at each other about, oh, you're going to take my guns away, or you're going to do this, or you're racist, or you're this, or whatever,
mm,
that's because we're not talking, we're yelling.
yeah.
Um, but when we talk, we find out, oh, we all have a cat, or we all have this, or we have that. And so the problem is that it's much easier just to yell at each other and not get to know each other. And I'm sort of antisocial these days, so it's like I don't want to do a lot of extra work, but I try to find commonalities with people. I try to find something that we can talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And some people might call that, well, it's sort of like, oh, you're two-faced or whatever. It's just like, I just don't want to argue with people anymore. I've done that. I don't mind telling you what I think,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm okay with, you and I have some different ideas politically, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with some of the burn it down stuff. I think some of the stuff has to be burnt down to be rebuilt.
Yes.
And people are the reason people feel that way, I think, is because the system is broken. And so
Mm-hmm.
you have to do something. You have to do something radical to adjust the system.
Yes.
And so I can see that. And I'm probably not the kind of person that's going to do much civil disobedience. I might do a tiny bit, but I'm not going to put somebody down for protesting in a certain way or committing civil acts of civil disobedience. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is probably going to get me canceled, but the whole burning the flag thing.
Mm. Yeah. Oh wait, what's the burning the flag? What's that?
Well, I mean the some of the protesters that were anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian, people that are very angry at sort of what they feel like might be genocide, and it looks like genocide to me. They burned some flags, and everybody's like, "Well, we need to put them in jail," and it's like, no, I'm not going to burn a flag. But that's one of the things that people fought for. And you'll hear soldiers say that sometimes. They'll be like, I'm not going to burn a flag because blah blah blah, but I fought for your right to do that.
Yep.
It's a flag.
It's a flag.
You know, people have flags up. I don't mind seeing an American flag. Sometimes an American flag is beautiful, but also it's a flag. It's not an. It's like the Bible. You can burn a Bible. That doesn't destroy Christianity. That doesn't. It's a Bible. It's a book.
It's a book.
There's nothing innately powerful about a thing. Um,
Well, it's just
you know, and
we from a very young age, Jeff, we we develop this habit of putting a lot of importance onto symbols and
sure,
symbolism. So
sure,
it's easy for it to hit people close to home when someone burns a flag, burns a Bible. But yeah,
sure.
if we could remove that from our collective conscious of like these are burning these physical objects doesn't necessarily burn down um the actual like symbolism, teachings, whatever.
Yeah.
However, we are reaching a point where we do need to re-examine these things. We need to really look at these things and be like, something's not right.
Well, it's
Something's
it's also a displacement, and we talk about like I don't know if we've talked about defense mechanisms on here, but defense mechanisms are basically things we do consciously or unconsciously, probably more unconsciously, that sort of protect us, like, projection or whatever. But, people will get very, very angry about the Olympics, or they are disrespecting something, or they burned a flag. Then the idea that there's people that have no food or shelter and they're next door. I mean, they're right. They're all over the place. But
mm,
we don't get, if we got as rageful about those things that we could possibly fix as we did about these things that, are, I think it's okay to have a national pride. I mean, and I think that's what I like about the Olympics is that you have national pride for your team. It's
mm.
sort of exciting to be like, okay, in this thing, we're Americans. We want Americans to win. I like that kind of thing. But the problem is when I mean, every country says they're the best, right? That's the whole point. Every country is like, we're the best country. And like when I was growing up, I was taught, you're lucky to be born in America. It's the best country. All these kind of,
Right.
I guess, indoctrinations.
Yeah.
And then you start studying your country and you're like, okay, I do feel lucky to be here. And with the idea of some of the places I might have been born where things, you don't have freedom or whatever. But still, America has done some really messed up shit. And then it's like, well, we can't teach that because that's anti-American. No, it is American to teach about our mistakes. It is American to teach the truth.
Yeah.
We need to understand that. And
Mm-hmm.
every other country has colonized too. I mean, it's not like any country that could did. It doesn't mean it's right, but we have sins that we need to atone for, and we need to accept that. And I mean, I don't feel like that's radical to learn from your mistakes.
It's
It
not.
doesn't mean America can't be a good place. It should always be trying to be a better place,
Yes.
right?
Yes. No, I 100% agree. It should always strive to be better. And, and that's it. It really is an indoctrination because I was also taught that, oh, you're lucky to be born in America. You're lucky to be
Yeah,
born here. This is the best country in the world. You don't want to be in those other countries. And it's like,
that's right.
you know, I don't know if that's entirely true anymore. I don't know. Like, I mean, I like it here, don't get me wrong. I just it's because it feels harder to be alive currently, and I'm not gonna do anything to change that as far as in my life or anything. I'm not gonna do that. I'm fine with. I like being alive.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah.
do. But sometimes it just feels like For me, I question if it's worth it sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just feels utterly defeating to like try and take a step forward, get three steps back. You have to be rude to get your needs met. It seems like I don't know. It's just is anyone having a good time?
You know, I think, this really does, it seems like a little weird way around, but this is sort of what, I mean, it's like America needs therapy, right? We go to therapy as people that are trying to figure out what we've done in our life that was not healthy for us and the people around us. And we should be growing. Part of that growth is to look at our patterns and see what we've done that is not healthy for
Mm-hmm.
ourselves and those around us. And
Yeah.
America needs that. America needs to constantly be. And I heard a guy, his name is Emmanuel Acko. Really, he's an ex-football player, amazing guy, and he has this show called Difficult Questions with a Black Man. And
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, this was coming out when we were doing a lot of the Black Lives Matters thing and stuff, and it was like, I don't want you to feel guilty. I just want you to understand and learn. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to learn, and I want you to learn about your history. And so it's like people are like, I didn't own slaves. Well, but we profited from that labor. And so it's not about feeling guilty or ashamed. It's about understanding that this is how this worked. We came to America, we took stuff over, we had slaves, we did killed Indians, we lied to them. That's just history. And
Mm-hmm.
so the idea is we have to learn that and we have to incorporate that in how can we be better? That's the idea, right?
Yes, Jeff. Yes, I think that is the I think that's the idea. That's the idea for
Right.
me. Like you've hit it on the head. Like it's not being overweighted or over encumbered with white guilt, but acknowledging it's acknowledging the shit, learning and learning how to be better. I think you've hit it on the head with like I feel
Yeah.
like America needs therapy, and it's like we're in this weird twisted relationship with each other where one half really just doesn't believe in therapy, or they're like it's just going to turn you into one of those cucks or whatever. And it's you have the other side's like, I would really like to explore this stuff. And you have some people that are in between, yada, yada, whatever. But yeah, it's just, and like I am thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to have my little family and to have my space and to have a job that does kind of care or does care about me. And you have it's good to have a support system. I'm grateful for the things that I have in my life. It's just, yeah, it feels kind of bleak lately.
Yeah. I mean, you can be grateful. You can enjoy pieces of life, but you can also admit that right now is a much more difficult time to be alive for many people than in the past because of the way certain systems are. But it's like I've religiously deconstructed, and I think I'm trying to now American just politically deconstruct, where I'm trying to understand the truth. I mean, let's just look at the facts. We don't have to look at things emotionally or whatever all the time. Let's just look at facts and try to see what we want to think. That doesn't take away from the experiment that America has been, which in many ways is an amazing experiment. There's
Mm-hmm.
also some problems. And so how do we fix those problems? How do we take the one of the things that has made America so successful, which is capitalism, how can we fix the problem of capitalism, which has made so many billionaires
Oh,
and has made it so that many other people are have nothing? How can we fix that? And there's all kinds of ideas about that, but how can we balance things a little bit? Because in the end, if people are taken care of, it makes it better for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, there's enough food and money to go around. And that doesn't mean everybody gets to be a billionaire. But what it means is that everybody should have basic health care, basic shelter, basic food. We could do that. We could figure out how to do that. And there would
Yeah.
still be billionaires. You could still have very, very wealthy people.
I
It
just
does it's like, right, it's not pie. So like everybody there's enough for everybody.
yeah,
We
there
don't
but
have a limited amount of resources. We have plenty.
but
It's just that the top has a little bit less.
I just don't think there needs to be billionaires. They're
Maybe you
unnecessary.
maybe you get to 999 million and you're just like, okay, you get a prize. Like you did it. Here's the trophy.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, surely if they just took the loopholes out on how they do everything, then, and they actually paid their fair share, it would actually, it could benefit everyone. It could benefit anyone like overnight. But, well, not overnight because the government moves really slow. We could get it from anywhere from 30 to 45 business days, but we could still get it. Um, but there's just a lot of loopholes and shit. I read about it once, but I'm blanking on it right now because I just, yeah, I feel like I ruined the episode here, Jeff. But that's okay. I know I didn't. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm allowed to feel down. I'm allowed uh not be in best spirits. But you know, I'm gonna get this shit out because I have a platform. I have a small little soapbox to do it. You and me, Jeff, we're on this little soapbox talking about it.
And it's totally um okay to not have. I think it's important to realize that sometimes we're not going to feel good. We're going to feel blah. We're going to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And that is okay. It's okay for us to feel badly. It's okay for us to grieve. So, um, it's, life is about all kinds of things. And some of it is feeling overwhelmed and sad.
Hmm.
And that's part of it. It's the whole experience, right?
It is. It is. Yeah. I mean, yes. The reason I feel this bad is because things were going good before, and they weigh together. They're bound together. You can't truly have one without the other one coming shortly after. It's a vicious little cycle. So I can acknowledge that, and it makes sense. I'm for that. It's perfectly fine. Everything works out. Uh oh. Okay. Sorry, my phone was at like 15%. It's getting low there.
That's
Don't
crazy, man.
I know. I
Yeah, I feel like part of the it, but it shouldn't be as hard as it is. And that's the thing. I don't understand why we need billionaires, but I'm even okay with us having billionaires if that money is cycled downward so that we don't have anybody that doesn't have a place to live.
Yeah.
If we had billionaires and everybody had a place to live, at least we've got basic needs. If it's not like everybody has to be have everything, but just
Mm-hmm.
the whole idea of people having basic needs met when somebody has an 80,000 square foot house that has a trampoline room in it. That's the problem.
Yeah. 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 Like we need to take care of each other. Like, and it's easy for us to let everything separate us, let our upbringing, let our beliefs, let our views, let everything separate us. I mean, and don't get me wrong, a lot of it justifiably so. There are a lot of people that try to invalidate other people's entire fucking existences. I'm not saying you guys have to get along. What am saying is it would be nice. No. What I'm saying is that we still need to take care of each other. We're all on the planet. We're all here together. sometimes you got to put that
Yep.
shit aside. Or,
And try to remember that everybody is struggling with something.
yeah. Actually, I think that's better. I don't think you need to put it aside, but maybe empathize. If everyone empathized with each other a little bit, maybe just if we all like the next time someone gets our order wrong at a restaurant and we're ready to just tear them a new fucking ass, like we could just stop. Hold on. I'm in public. This person is having a human experience that encompasses all the great tragedies that any human could experience in their entire life. They could be experiencing that right here on their shift. That's why they forgot my goddamn ranch. So instead of yelling at her, I
Yeah.
can let it go and I can just throw
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so I got the curly fries instead of the crinkle fries.
Yeah,
You can say it nicely, or you can just eat your fucking
just
fries.
eat the potato.
It's a
be
potato.
be grateful that it is a cooked potato, that you're able to go
Yes.
and just get a cooked potato wherever you want.
Yeah. Delicious cooked potato.
Just a delicious cooked potato.
That just be glad that you can go to the store and get 18 different brands of olives. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
makes
right.
America great. You could have any type, you could have 18 different types of olives and 14 different types of mustards. That is what makes America wonderful.
Well, Jeff, I think this has reached its logical conclusion. This might be the worst episode we've ever done. Who knows? Who knows with this things? But I
Worst
have
or the best.
worse. This could be the best episode. I don't
Yeah.
know. But you know what, Jeff? I have some exciting news.
Oh,
We got an email,
okay.
and for those of you who don't know, we have an email. You can email us at everythingistraumatic@gmail.com. You can write us in. There's only been one person that's really written us in, and that is a listener to the podcast. His name is Vin Win,
Okay.
and we've kind of established a sort of friendship with him. I would think I like Vin. I like hearing from. Do you like hearing from
Yeah.
Vin?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's great that he is continuing to talk to us.
So that's always nice of him. So, but here's the email. The subject is I'm back. Well, sort of. Dearest Jeff and Tyler, my journeys have taken me into the deep south, perhaps in your own area of the world, to a small town. I had unfortunately ran over a small picket fence with my car right as this old man was painting it, and the local sheriff was there to talking to the old man, who ends up being the judge in town. So, needless to say, I was arrested, but the judge sentenced me to 2 weeks of community service because that is how long it would take to fix my car. How
Hmm.
convenient. I figured he would make me rebuild the fence, but he said he didn't think I would do a good job. But he wanted to exploit whatever skill I did have to help his little community. They were a great group of people that took me in as their own. And the judge's daughter took a real shine to me, and I thought we may have had something special that only comes around once in a lifetime movie. I thought when my 2 weeks was coming to an end that they would all be sad to see me go and beg me to stay and marry the judge's daughter. I guess my skill was not as appreciated as I thought, as they sent me on my way without a thank you or a see you later, and it turns out the judge's daughter is already married to the sheriff's son, who is spending some time in a prison upstate. It made me wonder if how I feel now is how you all felt when I seemingly abandoned you with my absence of writing. If I hurt you as much as that small town hurt me, I deeply apologize. Maybe you can all
Hmm.
use my skill that they felt was not very helpful. Just let me know. Now, now that I have Now that I am away from that speck on the map that had no internet and felt like 1991, I can write once again. So, what's up? What did I miss? Dramatically yours, Vin Win. Well, Vin, I don't know. Have you listened to the past few episodes? I feel like you missed a lot, right?
I think he did miss a lot.
Like we
I think
talked
he
about.
might be missing something else too, but I'm not gonna be too mean.
Right. That's good. That's good. That's good, Jeff. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you missed a lot of good conversations, but I mean they're recorded.
Yeah,
Like
you
all
you
the
can
other.
always listen to them. He missed a Sandy episode,
Yeah.
who always adds to it. She classes things up.
She does. She does. Yeah, you missed some stuff, Vin, but you can catch up on all 53, 54 episodes there online wherever you listen to podcasts, and
It's free.
it's free. It's free.
Yeah,
And so
it
this is
doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're a billionaire or not a billionaire, um, you can listen for free.
I mean, if you are a billionaire and you're listening, you could like help fund the show. I don't know. We could I could use a little money. I don't know. But this has reached its logical conclusion. Jeff, do you have any final thoughts about being alive?
I I think we all, even this is sort of my wisdom from as getting older. Even as certain things get taken care of, we find other things to worry about and
Mm,
to be stressed about. But it is wonderful to have friends like yourself to talk about these things. Um, and that's what makes life rich in the end, is being able to have support and people that you can be with in this mess.
yeah, I mean that's a really good final thought, Jeff. I'm very grateful for you. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm sorry, everyone, if I haven't been myself lately. It's just been a rough time, and I'm sure it's rough for everyone else out there. So, if you can talk to a friend or family member you trust, and just remember we're all in this big old, like you said, this big old mess together. We're in this big old gumbo we call life. That was
It
terrible.
is gumbo.
That was a terrible. This is okay. This has been all of us here at Everything is Traumatic. I'm Tyler,
I'm Jeff.
and please take care of yourself.